Welcome back, you guys. It's been a minute. I know it's been a minute. I said 2 weeks, and I guess it's been about 2 weeks. So let me tell you what's new. First, this is the altered image. Y'all know where you are, and you know who I am. I'm Miss L. I am coming to you live and direct. You guys, I'm giving you some unfiltered truth today. So let's jump into today's topic. First, I want to say I am still reading Gary Chapman's The 5 Love Languages. We're going to dive into that in about 2 more weeks. School is starting on Monday, so y'all know I got to go back to be with my babies. I'm so excited to see them again. I haven't seen them in 2 weeks, and I'm surprised that I miss them as much as I do. So that's something to look forward to on a Monday. Today, you guys, I'm not going to talk about the 5 love languages. I'm going to talk to you about something that's very real. That's something very live that's happening to me right now. And I want to call it the season of isolation. Y'all, this is a doozy. Have you experienced the season of isolation? Huh? Well, if you haven't, let me tell you all about it. Woo! Y'all will find yourselves losing friends, family members, lovers, husbands and wives, you guys, and it all seems to happen all at the same time now, doesn't it? In addition to that, something happens to kind of project you, propel you into the season of isolation, and that thing that happens almost doesn't make sense because it seems to have been a minute or very small incident that just spiraled into something very huge. And you're left scratching your head and you wonder what happened. What the hell is this? Yeah, that's what I'm feeling right now, you guys. Listen, I'm very transparent in all of these episodes because if I don't share my truth with you guys, what is this whole thing all about? I'm going to be honest and transparent, y'all. I'm in the season of isolation right now as we speak. Right now, I feel like it's me, God, and my 2 multi-poos, and that's it. I have been heartbroken by having to let go of people who have been very disrespectful. And what that means is that my selection of friends, I couldn't choose my family, but my selection of friends, that was mine. And so therefore, I may not have made the best choices for myself, or perhaps I did for the season that those friends were inside of my life. Now, y'all have heard the saying, you know, some people are in your lives for a season, and then hopefully you'll find the one that's in your life forever. But we go through many people that are in our lives for a season. And y'all got to know that these people are here to teach us something about ourselves. That part is hard to grasp because I'm telling y'all, when you're in your feelings, the last thing you want to do is think about a damn lesson. You're trying to get from feeling the way you feeling right now. I get that because I feel it right this second, you guys. I get the heaviness of your heart. I get the lump in your throat that just comes for no reason. I get your, how can I say, I get feeling like you're moving in slow motion on a hamster wheel that keeps spinning in the same direction. It sometimes feels like no matter what changes you implement in your life, you still find yourself right back inside of the same circumstance, right? Y'all, I'm going to tell you something that's hard. I had to learn this. I'm still learning this. Y'all, listen to me. If you're right back on the hamster wheel, guess what you haven't done yet? You haven't gotten a lesson. Yeah, you still getting a whooping. I'm still getting mine. I'll admit it. I'm getting my butt beat down right now by God because I still didn't get the lesson. And so, although my heart is broken as we speak, I needed to come here when these feelings were raw because I need to encourage you guys to not stay in your feelings. You got to feel them, but you cannot stay in them. Really, when it gets when you are finding yourself having to navigate through an emotional, difficult circumstance, I'm going to tell y'all right now, these feelings, they have a place, a small space for you to occupy yourself within. See, at the end of the day, you've got to lean on your rationale and your reason when you're trying to heal through this feeling of loneliness that this season of isolation may render you inside of. You've got to really be able to discern it. Am I holding on to my feelings, or am I responding to this circumstance? Holding on to feelings, you're reacting. Nothing good comes from somebody reacting because there's no plan in a reaction. There's no plan to counter a consequence within a reaction, but a response. See, a response is something different, because when you respond to an emotional circumstance, that means that you are taking the time to plan your way on how am I going to get through this hard part. See, what I'm doing, I'll tell you what I'm doing, you guys. The first thing I do is I identify my feeling. Number one, identify the feeling. So the feeling that I woke up with was a heavy heart. Like physically, my heart was heavy. And also emotionally, my heart was heavy. And I had a huge lump in my throat, which meant that the tears were about to come. So I didn't want to feel that, but I knew I could not deny that feeling. So I let it come. And then the tears rolled. But then here's the part that you guys got to get to next. Once you identify that feeling and you feel the feels, the tears roll, the lump in the throat is present, the heart is heavy. Once you feel that, now it's time to respond to that feeling. Let's respond, y'all. How did I respond this morning, y'all? YouTube is my friend. I don't just use it to deliver messages to you guys. I also use YouTube to help me heal through my circumstances. And so that's exactly what I did. I looked into the search engine and I typed in season of isolation because I identified a feeling of loneliness. And I thought, well, why am I lonely? Because I know that I'm about to be isolated by myself. For how long? I don't even know. That's a scary feeling, especially when you have mapped out in your mind that your circumstances were going to wind up way different than they currently are. It's very scary, but you got to conjure the strength to move through and get to that space of a response. Because if you don't, you will lose yourself, you guys, in your feelings. You'll go down a dark hole. And it's going to be super difficult to try to scratch your way up back toward the light. So therefore, you have got to learn how to respond to your emotion after you have identified it. I looked at YouTube and I typed in the search bar, season of isolation. And y'all, here comes your rhyme. When I typed in season of isolation, y'all, I got a little bit of celebration. Yeah, I did. Because I was able to comprehend. Now I understand the why behind this feeling of loneliness inside of this season of isolation. Now I get the why. The why is to understand, how do you respond to your pain once you have identified what type of pain you're dealing with. Well, for me, it was a YouTube video, or several, to be honest. For you, it might be to read a book or walk your dog or go to the gym, but you gotta respond to your pain. See, responding to your pain does not mean staying forever curled up in a fetal position in bed, can't get up, can't go to work, can't go work out, can't get your life together, just stuck. Yeah, that's not responding. That's reacting, y'all. You got to be able to discern the difference. Now, when you respond, what you do with that is you feel the feels, but then you respond by coming up with a solution to figure out, how do I navigate through these feels so that I can get to a place of healing. Whatever that thing is for you, the how is going to be for you to determine. But the why, I can tell you the why is very important. There are two main concepts I need you guys to get in this episode. The first concept is you guys have got to be able to discern, are you reacting or are you responding to your emotional trauma? You got to be able to do that. But before you can even answer that question, you have to identify the type of emotional feeling that you're going through. You got to know what type. The third thing that you guys do, once you've identified the type, you treat it like any other aspect of your life. You go to the thing that's going to ground some type of grounding. Yes, grounding response to your emotion. That might be all of the things that I mentioned before. The how I can't give you, but I can definitely tell you why it's important for you guys to figure the how out. Figure out how, you guys. Once you've identified your emotion, after you have identified your emotion, once you go through the process of figuring out how do I get through this type of emotion without reacting but responding. So you got to really reflect on that aspect of it all, because you cannot miss that step. Once you have decided, okay, I know now I need to ground myself in responding to this emotion and not stay stuck in my feelings. So now it's up to me to identify, how do I do that? Do I busy myself with distractions? You know what? Why not? If they are positive distractions, whatever that may be. You know what I'm going to do? You guys, I live in Key West. I've been here for about a year. And although I've been to some really nice places, as a person to explore the island on my own, I have not done. You know, I have not even identified, I wonder what my hobbies are, because I work all the time. Like it was grad school, and now I'm teaching, personal training, and I got the podcast and the YouTube. So I'm always working. But you guys, I have not given myself an opportunity to really dive down deep and explore myself even further, because I had been pouring so much of myself into individuals, that's a plural S, that I kind of neglected myself. Now, that doesn't mean that I didn't go get my mani and my petties, and that doesn't mean that I didn't put on my warrior mask of makeup. That doesn't mean, that I didn't put my clothes together and present myself in a presentable fashion in society. I mean, I did that part. I did honor myself through that small window of self-love. But I really mean in determining through self-love, what is it that just really fires me up alone as an individual? And even what's more, what is it that God has for me that He wants me to seek out, for me to be very excited about? This is a project that God has decided that it's only going to be me and Him, He and I, because He has removed people from my life. You guys, you might say to yourself, Anita, be very careful, Anita. You might need to think, are you sure that God removed those people? Or did you remove those people by your behavior? Yeah, I have to think about that, you guys, because accountability is important. So I'm diving in, and of course I've made mistakes. Of course I made decisions that I could have done a better job with. I made some bad decisions. I did. But did I make a decision in any of my relationships because of the person I am? Did I make any decision to cause a person to leave my life because I was abusive toward them? I've never been abusive toward anybody. I really have not. And I'm going to tell you why I haven't. Because I have been abused my entire life. I have. Y'all, I'm okay with abuse because y'all, let me just say, I'm not okay. Don't take that to the bank and cash it. Nope, that's not what I meant. What I meant to say is abuse is a tricky thing because oftentimes people who are abused often become very accustomed to the type of dysfunction that they find themselves within. When people are comfortable inside of the abuse that they have to succumb to, they don't necessarily even realize that it's abuse until something shakes them. And that shaking is God. And God is saying to you, child, listen to me. I'm going to remove this person or these people out of your life because, first of all, you don't hear what I hear. They got conversations. They talking about you. They saying things about you. You can't even wrap your mind around because you think that they for you. You think that they love you. No, they tearing you all the way down. They are discrediting you and they are devaluing you. That's a hard word to say, but they are really stomping on your worth. They will do that. So God said, I'm going to kick these folks up out of your life because they don't deserve access to the type of love that you're capable of giving. So God will remove people from your life because y'all don't understand that sometimes he will see and hear things from those people that you think love you and are for you that you don't know anything about. He is saving you low key and you don't even know it. You know, I believe that wholeheartedly. There's another point that I want to make, speaking of God and believing that wholeheartedly. You guys, listen. Feelings and emotions. I want to talk about God and feelings and emotions. You guys, when you stay in your feelings, I need you to know, or your emotions, I need you to know that you are pretty much telling God that, God, I don't have the faith that you're going to get me through this period. So I'm going to stay right here in my darkness, in this pain. I'm going to stay right here. That's what you're telling God when you stay stuck in your feelings. You're telling him that you don't believe him. You're telling him that you don't have faith in him. I don't know about y'all, but I ain't that crazy. I'm not doing that. No, I'm not going to do that because I do believe in God. And I know he's going to get us through these seasons. And I believe that sometimes we pour so much of ourselves into people that we become blinded and we start creating a love that we think is inside of our dynamic. That is not. We think we're getting a two-sided love, but you're not. You're getting a one-sided love and you're creating the other side within the individual that you think loves you back. You guys, sometimes these people who you think love you, who don't love you back, you got to know it's a reason for their existence in your life. It is. And it's hard. It's hard to grasp. It's hard for me to grasp talking to you right now because I'm going through it right now. But as I speak to you guys, I need you to know there is reason behind all of this. And it is for your greater good. We don't see that. And that's the hard part. That's where trust and faith come into the equation. And all of that is grounded in God's love. If you guys stay stuck in those feelings, you will be stealing. Hey, there's another rhyme for you. If you stay stuck in your feelings, you will be stealing from yourself all that God has for you. Don't be a burglar. Go ahead and get your blessing. Get through this hard part. I told you, life is a roller coaster, y'all. You got to know, the bigger the blessing, the harsher the lesson. Rhyme number 3. And with that one, you guys, it's 19 minutes. I'm going to go ahead and go to 20 seconds. You guys, as I'm speaking, though, let me just put this reminder in your ear. You guys go to the YouTube, please. Check out the videos, please. Most often than not, you guys, what I will do on YouTube, I do shorts, and in those shorts, I will kind of tell you what's coming up. Also, I had posted a couple of videos of Vinny and I, when, just doing our thing, just so you guys can get a glimpse inside of that. Just a little peep inside of my life. But outside of that, all of the podcast episodes are on there, as well as the listening platforms. So no matter what listening platform you guys listen to your music or podcast on, you'll be able to check me out on the YouTube channel. So please hit the like button. Please click subscribe. And you guys, make sure you follow the Spotify or the Apple Podcast or the Pandora or the XM Radio or Google Podcasts. I don't know. Follow me, please, so we can talk. You guys, do me a favor. Last thing, leave some comments for me, either on the YouTube channel. Give me some thoughts about your feelings, because we can't start a community if I'm the only one talking. So talk to me, please. I do want to send my girl, and she was my roommate in college, Nene. Nene, if you're listening, girl, thank you for listening. So Nene sent, she's opening up the conversation. She sent me a message. I responded. We talked about it for a second. And you guys, I'm going to need you to do the same. Talk to me, please. So on that note, you guys, it's Saturday. No, wait, it's Sunday. Woof. It's Sunday. I'm going to work on Monday. Y'all, I'm heartbroken right now as we speak. Why don't I sound like I'm heartbroken? Because I trust God. And I got to stay in this space. But I'm talking to you in this very raw, this very real, this very unscripted moment, because it is real. Live. It's happening in real time. And I'm sharing it with you, you guys. We're going to learn together. We're going to get through this thing. We're going to heal ourselves. All right. It is now 21 minutes, 50 seconds. Woo-hoo! You are with Miss L. This is the Altered Image. You guys go into your work week. Listen, have faith. Don't stay stuck in those feelings. Trust me. God's got you. He got you when you don't even know he got you. He got you, though. You got to trust me on that. Because I do. I trust him. All right, y'all. That's it. I'll continue to talk to you. I will be back on. I'm hoping to get back on this on hopefully Saturday of next week. And I will introduce the first book of our book club. And that's going to be Gary Chapman's 5 Love Languages. Alrighty, you guys, on that note, love you, mean it. This is Miss L. This is the Altered Image. We will talk soon. Bye, y'all. Love you. Mean it.